What's happening, guys? It's Dean from Electronisounds. Stick around. Today we're going to try to hook up a hardware effect to the send inside of Beatmaker 3.
Electronisounds Audio, the YouTube channel for you.
Real quick, guys, the reason that I've chosen to use the Novation Audio Hub 2x4 today for this test is because it has multiple outputs on the back. So we're going to be taking the outputs 3 and 4, and we're going to run those into the Big Sky, which could be whatever effects unit you're trying to send your effects to. And then we'll take an output from the Big Sky, and we're going to direct that right into the front of the Audio Hub 2x4. So in theory, this setup would work with any audio interface that has multiple outputs. You're going to need 4 outputs, and you're going to need at least one set of inputs to set this up. Let's try it out. Okay, guys, let's start with the routing today and get everything all wired up. We've got the Strymon Big Sky, and we've got the Novation Audio Hub 2x4. I've plugged both of these into power, and we're going to start by taking the Audio Hub 2x4. We're going to plug that into the Apple USB 3 to Lightning adapter. Make sure you don't go with generic versions of these because they usually don't work. We're going to plug this into the Novation Audio Hub 2x4. I'm going to plug this into the iPad. Now, the reason that I like to use this particular adapter is that it's got an extra plug so we can plug power into the iPad while we're working. So I'll take just a standard Lightning connector, we'll plug that in, goes to the standard USB, and I've got this plugged into an Anker battery power supply. The reason that I like to use the battery power supply a lot instead of wall power is it'll alleviate any possible hums in the system, buzzes in the system, maybe like a ground loop in your system or whatever, and just kind of helps the audio stay clean a lot of the time. And so let's see here. We'll start now by plugging in the Audio Hub 2x4 to our mixer so that we can get some audio. We're going to just take the outputs 1 and 2 of the back. These are balanced outputs. And I'm going to take a pair of balanced cables. You know these are balanced because they'll have 2 lines on the tip instead of just 1 on the tip. You'll also probably know because you probably paid out the nose for them. I've been trying to stock some of these in the studio lately, and they're not cheap. And what we'll do now is we're going to take an output from the Novation Audio Hub, and we're going to run that into the input of the Big Sky. So we'll take the outputs 3 and 4, left and right, respectively, from the output of the 2x4, and we're going to take this and plug these left and right into the input of the Big Sky. And now we just need a way for the Big Sky to get its signal back to the Novation Audio Hub. So I'm going to take, oops, I didn't plug those in correctly. So I'm going to take a left and right output from the Big Sky, and I'm going to run that into the front of the Novation Audio Hub. We got left and we got right. And there's a little button on the front of the Audio Hub that says gain, high, and low. We're going to make sure that's plugged in all the way so that we get a nice hot signal into Beatmaker 3. And also there's a button that says input monitor, and we don't need to have that clicked on. If it's clicked on, it'll be lit up. You just leave that out for now. And let's see, I'll set the output main volume to 3 o'clock. I'm also going to set the output on volumes 3 and 4 to 3 o'clock. And there we have it. We're all plugged in. Let me go ahead and fire up the iPad here. And we'll go ahead and get Beatmaker 3 going, guys. Get this routed. Okay, guys, let's see if we can get this routed inside of Beatmaker 3. We're going to start by opening up a brand new session, and we're going to head over to the mixer section. Now, what we want to do is normally we would use these aux1 and aux2 as effect sends to send things to effects inside of Beatmaker 3. And what we want to do is we want to use the auxiliary send, the effect send, to send to an external effect and not to an internal effect. The first thing we're going to do is we'll start by opening up the in-out routing, and we'll see here that on aux1 channel, it's routed to the Audio Hub 2x4 1 and 2. We want to route it to the Audio Hub 2x4 3 and 4, and that's the outputs that we have going into the Big Sky reverb. And now we'll need a way to hear the Big Sky reverb back inside of Beatmaker 3. And what we can do is we'll add a new track, create a new audio track, right? And then we're going to click on the record arm button so it turns red there. We're going to head back over to the mixer page, and we're going to tell Beatmaker 3 where to get its audio from. Here it's getting its input. It says none. We'll click that, and we're going to select hardware input, and we'll select our audio hub 2x4, 1 and 2. Okay, now our audio is getting routed out of the Novation audio hub 3 and 4 into the Big Sky, and then out of the Big Sky into the inputs on the front of the Novation audio hub. So if we take this bank here, for instance, and we load a sound into this bank. Let's load up some, I like these chiptune strings quite a bit. And since we want to hear what the Big Sky reverb is, I'll turn the audio effects off inside of the preset itself, right? Cool, so it's pretty dry sounding, and we can really just get an idea what the Big Sky sounds like and make sure that we're actually sending it there. And what we'll do, is we will, on our chiptune strings bank, we're going to go ahead and click up the send to send that to auxiliary 1. Not quite getting it yet. And what we need to do, right, there's one final step, is we need to tell the audio track that we want to monitor the input, meaning we want to hear the input that's coming in to the audio hub 2x4. Perfect. So now what we're hearing is we're hearing our reverb send coming through the Big Sky. And as I turn the decay up on this, you'll really hear the Big Sky reverb start to kick in. So there you have it, guys. We're actually running an external effect through the send in Beatmaker 3. Cool. I hope this makes sense. I'll turn the decay down. There's that sound dry. And when I turn, the length of the reverb up, you can hear that it's definitely going through the Big Sky. Let me just take this off the stand here. The settings on the Big Sky aren't really relevant here, and this could be any sort of effects processor you like. It could even be something like the Elektron Digitact or the Elektron Octatrack or something like that has like effects built into it and some input and output routings. Let's just check this out real quick here. So on the front here, there's this gain switch. You want to make sure that's plugged in, pushed in all the way to get high gain. And then on the top, you've got a knob on the left, which sends the output to your mixer, and you've got a knob in the middle, which is how much volume is coming out of the outputs in the back. So you'll do a little bit of fine-tuning on these. Right now, I have them both at about 3 o'clock, and that seems to be sending a pretty good level to the mixer, and also a pretty good level into the effects unit here. And again, we're taking out from the effects unit, right back here to the input. I hope that made sense, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more content from me, let's get connected. Links are coming up.